Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to a Friday late session of the CryptoManiacs podcast. Apologies to everyone. That was my fault. Some things came up I had to deal with. So we are a couple of hours later than normal. But if you're watching this recording, it's whenever you're watching the recording. But for the live stream people, apologies in advance, and special thanks to Taskmaster for being so accommodating to my schedule. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
What was my choice? To say no and run the show myself? I don't even know how to run restream here. So what was I going to do?
You press a big button. You say go live. That's it. Like, you know.
I don't even have the account.
Yeah, well, you could just I don't know, try it on Vim or something. I don't know.
I'm glad you got taken care of what you got to take care of, and you were able to join us late. But who cares? We're flexible.
Yeah, so, exactly. So we actually have a jam-packed show. So it was pretty important that I got back in front of my computer because we actually had quite a few questions from the audience. I did not get everyone tipped and upvoted. I will do so after the show. So if you didn't get tipped or upvoted, I apologize. I will get to that. But also, we have the giveaway, the 50 Hive giveaway for the Raven Coin contest that we held about 2 weeks ago. So the idea was pretty simple. Go and purchase some Raven Coin, which is the fan coin, let's say, of the artist Raven. Hello, Boom Me. And all you had to do was purchase some tokens of hers and just screenshot it, put it on the CTP chat blog post, and you got.
We had two blog posts that could have shown up on last week's and this week's, right?
Right. Perfect. Yep. So we got everyone's name. I wrote everyone's name down. So Task will be doing the honors of picking the number, and then I will do the funny little thing, and we'll do it all live. I will put numbers beside everyone's name, and it's not going to be in order. And then I'll get Task to pick a number, and we'll do that like that. So do you want to do that first, or do you want to get into everyone's questions? How about we do the contest first? We should do the contest first.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to need a number from 1 to 8. So 1 second. Okay, so I put the names of all of the contest entries. Hello, Jimmy. And Fancy Jimmy is one of those names. So I hope you win, Jimmy. You're here live. So a number from 1 to 8, and I will flip it around and I will show the people, because I just put the numbers totally random around each person's name. It doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mixed it up a little bit. So Task 1 to 8, pick a number, and you get to choose who gets 50. No pressure. No pressure at all. You get to see who wins 50 Hive.
I am going to go with the winner is number 3.
Wow. Really?
That's what I said. Number 3. I can't read that.
Jimmy, 3.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
no joke.
Shit.
No joke.
Go redo. I didn't want that.
Jimmy is the winner.
Congratulations.
That's pretty crazy, man. That's pretty crazy. So, Jimmy, I will send that to you. 50 Hive coming at you as soon as the show is done. So that's pretty funny. Literally, Jimmy shows up and Jimmy wins. It's almost like we planned it, but we didn't. That's what's crazy. So, thank you, Jimmy, and thank you to Raven for talking about the contest and showcasing the blog, the podcast as well. Over the past couple of weeks. So appreciate that and appreciate all you guys. So we'll do more of these contests, these random giveaways, because I love Hive. Task loves Hive. Everyone loves Hive. We love giving Hive. I like getting Hive, but
actually, you know what? It would have been better. I'm going to make an executive decision, a CryptoManiacs executive decision. All contests will be paid out from this point forward in HBD.
It's fine with me.
I think that we should support HBD, and so HBD will be the token.
So I got to stop.
You got 50 Hive coming, but in future one.
I got to stop dumping it into savings. You're saying then for future contests, because that's what I've been
Well,
doing. I don't know about you,
or
but
just have me stop surprising you with these on-air contests.
I like, dude. I mean, if you knew the history of me doing live streams over the past decade, like that's actually how Blaine became my first of all my number one affiliate, but also my business partner. Eventually, I actually sent him a contest winning. Remember those little flip cameras, little tiny
Yeah.
flip cams?
Yeah.
He won one, and we had one branded to CTP. He won one and started doing videos with it. And so I love contests, man. I'm for it. I'm all for it. I think we should do a contest every week just to keep people on their
yes,
toes.
50 HBD costs more now, but we're not focusing upon that.
Yeah.
And we would offer, Jimmy, we would offer to give you 50 HBD instead of 50 high, but we probably don't have it liquid. At least John just, it's not liquid. So
it's all in savings. Well, the good thing is the best thing about Hive is that if you're active, you're getting rewards every day. So that HBD bank, you're getting paid 50%, 50-50. You got your reward split 50-50. You're getting HBD in your pocket every day. So there you go. It's the beautiful ATM that is content creation on the blockchain. So yeah, there you go. We got some questions, man. You excited? Excited?
Fire away.
Let's get it going. Off and popping. So pretty good turnout, and we mentioned the Raven contest from yesterday. So just straight up, how we do each and every week. Ask your questions. So we'll start off today with Mr. David Armstrong. He says, do you believe that the 20% HBD interest along with Splinterland's play to earn will be enough to move CTP up onto the top crypto list? It has been hovering around 200 for a while now, and I would like to see it move up to at least the top 100. Take care. So do you think that HBD and Splinterlands is enough for us to live the Vida Loca here?
CTP, or you mean Hive?
Sorry, Hive. Did I say CTP? I'm in the dude. I got this. You see how we put CTP under there? That's the CTP tipping bot, man. Like we launched that this week. We're doing things. We're making it happen.
I didn't say you're not.
Yeah, HBD. Sorry, HBD and Splinterland. Sorry.
Well, and pushing up Hive, I presume.
Yes.
My view on it is I don't know. There's a number of things that I look at with Hive, and you have HBD now, you have Splinterlands, you have what Leo Finance is doing. I believe Listeners, even though in the early stages, belongs on that list. We have Speak Network, you got Ragnarok, you got CyberX, and this is just stuff I know about. Then you got potentially the Half, you got the RC delegations in the next hard fork, which means there's the potential that somebody might have some type of opportunity created there. So it's hard to tell what is going to be the breakout. I mean, if you ask John and I, we'll bet every Hive that we have that the breakout will be Project Blank, because we're both very confident on that. What we're not confident on is when we'll see it. But we'll see it. It's
a
like
mythical creature.
Yeah. It's like
it's a unicorn, baby. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is. It is something you've heard about, something you know, but you've never really seen it in person. So I mean, HBD, yes, it has the potential to skyrocket high, but we have the chicken or the egg, as I've explained in a number of posts. We simultaneously need more HBD out there, which means more people should be piling into the HBD savings. But at the same time, we need more liquidity out there so people can buy HBD or swap it and get into savings, which means you should be supporting PHBD on Polycup. So, it's just, we have a lot of issues to work through. We're trying to work through them. We're doing a lot of things simultaneously, but that's Hive's MO. Yeah. So what brings the people in? I don't know. I don't really know. It's you can never tell. Speak Network is making progress.
Yep.
but they may not be even at MVP before the end of the year. Ragnarok just had its airdrop. They're getting closer, but again, that's another long-term process. In a couple of weeks, we got Elindo's coming up. He'll give us an update, but we know he was long-term thinking. So it's really hard to tell specifically what's going to end up being the breakthrough. But I think once we have it, then it's like the dam collapsing, because then all those other things will get more and more attention.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Boom Me just asks, how long would 20% HBD last? I mean, this is the best thing about the witnesses. I mean, I know people have their doubts and their concerns and their issues with top witnesses, but I'll tell you this about them: they're on top of things. I mean, if something isn't right on Hive, they reach consensus pretty quick. So that's what's cool. I think HBD at 20% will last until they feel, and the general feeling of the blockchain is that this isn't sustainable. But right now, everything is in the green. So what would you say? Do you think this is going to last for a long time, or?
I wrote an article this morning titled 20%, something to the effect 20% HBD is very sustainable. In fact, it's not only sustainable, it's necessary. Because if you take where we're at now and you compound that out over 20 years,
Right.
if we took all 10 million and stuck them in savings now, we only get at a little over 500 million HBD in 20 years.
Right.
Tether has 83 billion.
Yeah. Right.
If we change, catch this, if we change the payout to 50%,
Yeah,
over the next 20 years, with the 3 million that we have in savings, paying 50% now every year for the next 20 years, we would only get to 53 billion. We're still 30 billion less than Tether. So,
which is a mythical creature in itself, because no one knows if it's backed with anything.
Well, I understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
but you would jump ahead of USDC, but barely. And that's 20 years down the road. And we know use cases are being developed. Hopefully, projects are starting to look to integrate HBD as a payment mechanism now. We already have discussed, or I've written about and discussed, this idea of layer 2 bonding and high bonds and stuff like that, which I talked to the Speak Network team about. And then we also have the liquidity pool on Polycub. There will be other liquidity pools following.
Right.
So there's a lot of different options starting to spring up. So the idea, if you're going to be a legitimate stable coin, you're going to need tens of billions of tokens out there.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we go from 10 million to tens of billions? There's three ways. I mean, and one's limited. As John said, if you're 50-50 reward, okay, half the reward pools then is paid out in HBD, but proportionally speaking, that's not a lot.
Yeah.
You got 3 million in there earning 20%, so that's 600K a year. That's not going to add a whole lot compared to where we are. So the other option is the conversion, which, with the peg holding is, you got to take a 5% loss to convert from Hive to HBD. So, it's going to take us a while to work through this, but the 20% is very sustainable, in my opinion. The flip side of that is you can't go and offer a 50% return, because then everybody out there thinks you're a scam.
Right.
Because it's like 50% is unsustainable and bullshit. And when you look at the numbers, it's not unsustainable if we indeed have that much demand for HBD, which that comes back to John's favorite talking point, use cases. What's the utility? If we have tens of millions of dollars in commerce taking place in HBD every day, then you're going to need billions and billions of tokens out there. If we have one website that takes HBD and it gets 2 HBD used a day, well, then we really don't have much use for HBD. And so that's where the build out and use cases come in. But we know Ragnarok has talked about making that their in-game native token, or at least in-game native payment token. There's other things that I've heard that are talking about it. I'm not at liberty to say, or really don't have the details, but there's a few other projects out there that are looking at the same thing. So, it's going to take a while, but I'm with John. I don't see the witnesses decreasing it, especially if we're far below the haircut level, which if the next hard fork happens at the end of May, that haircut level goes up to 30% anyway.
Yep, for sure. Good question. Thank you for that. Next up, we got Tokenized Society. Hello, Maniacs. Hope you're doing fine. We're getting close to Hard Fork 26, and I'd like to know what you expect from it. What about it excites you the most? How do you think it'll impact Hive? Well, this is the resource credits. This is the big resource credit delegation, right? So that opens it up for developers and project owners to be able to onboard a little bit easier, which is kind of an issue.
Yeah, at least getting people you onboard active, because you don't have to delegate high power. You only have to delegate resource credits. So you can still retain the high power. Still doesn't solve the onboarding issue, because the resource credits are once they get their account.
Right.
But that's the big one. What actually excites me the most is outside the hard fork, but simultaneously with the hard fork, the half.
Mm-hmm.
And the release of that, and that going live, and developers being able to interact with the blockchain without having to be able to interact, to be able to code to the blockchain, or code in blockchain language, or however we phrase it. They, like Block Trade said when he was on the show a number of times, as long as they can create a database, which all developers can, they can use Half, they can tie into Hive. And, they being the blockchain developers, they handle all the other stuff. So it's all fed to the Half, and everything else, that any updates or any changes to the blockchain, those guys do. And then it's fed to the Half, and that the Half developers just have to keep up to date with the Half. Mm-hmm. So I think that's actually a bigger one. We'll see if it draws more developers to Hive, which is what we all hope it is. Now, I don't know, Boomy, if you'll be able to lease your resource credits. I would hypothesize there would be some type of app somebody will create to do that. If I had to guess, I don't know for certain, but that wouldn't surprise me if somebody develops that.
Yep, I know. Personally speaking, I'm excited for the resource credit stuff because of the people we onboard. It's basically coming out of my not that it's a problem, but it's coming out of my pocket to delegate Hive power to every account that we onboard. So the resource credits is a better way for us to do it, we think. So,
I agree. I think it's better for all applications and games. Yeah. It makes it a lot easier.
Yep. Good question, though. Metzley is up. She finally joined Listeners, so welcome to the addiction. And she wants to know, can I add people who are not on the blockchain to my mailer? So you can basically refer anyone you want to Listeners. And if they join through your referral link, they are on your list because you send a mail to them or a message through Listeners to them. Every single person you introduce Listeners to. They don't need to be on the blockchain. Nobody in Listeners needs to be on Hive. You can be a member of Listeners and send and receive messages just like you would on any mailer. But you just don't get to take part in the rewards that's involved with Listeners and verifying the email. So yeah, absolutely. You can add people left, right, and center who are not on the blockchain. And that's what we're noticing is more and more people are slowly coming into getting involved with the blockchain through Listeners. So that's what we're hoping for. So fingers crossed. Hope that helped. NFTBBG said, I've already mentioned this question in one of Taskmaster's posts. I want to restate it here again in a different way. Perhaps after 3 days, there are some developments in this direction. As far as your knowledge is concerned, do you know any developers on Hive who are currently toying with the idea of a DeFi DAO built on HBD?
No, I don't know anybody looking in that direction. most of the people I interact with are either working on an application, like listeners, and adding more to it. They're involved with the project and they're looking to expand it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I deal with the people dealing with base layer or infrastructure type stuff like the Speak Network people and Disregard Fiat and people like that. So, I don't know how you would frame that out. That's probably a good topic if you want to put together a post.
Mm-hmm.
I would certainly link that on Leo Finance.
For sure.
I would be interested to see how that would be envisioned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a DAO tied to HBD. What does the DAO do?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we got HBD in the decentralized Hive fund, and that's a
Well, that's
DAO.
how they get paid out in the DHF is through HBD,
Well,
right?
I think they get paid out actually in Hive, but yeah,
Really? Oh.
yeah, I think so. I thought I read Smooth say that they get paid out in Hive, but either way, I mean, there's HBD in there, and it does equate to payouts. But I mean, what does the Hive do that would be tied to HBD? I'm not, excuse me. What does the DAO do that's tied to HBD?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could set up a DAO, but what does it do? I mean, you got to have some use case, I'd imagine.
Right.
Just like the DHF is there to fund projects on Hive. Constitution DAO was there to buy a reprint or a copy of the Constitution. What does
Mm-hmm.
this DAO tied to HBD do? I mean, it's, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, John. But a DAO, it's like, got to have a reason for it. It's like saying a corporation tied to the euro. Okay, what does a corporation do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Right. Makes sense. Thank you for the question. Cyber Crypto's up. He said he has a doubt. I have some people unstake. If some people unstake listeners and sell them, will the price drop heavily? It might affect small investors like me right when some big investors sell them off. Here's the crazy thing about every single market out there and every single token. The market decides. If people sell it and they buy it, that's the price of it. If people buy it and at low and sell high, that's the price of it. If they dump it, that's the price of it. So, I mean, as far as we see, there's no big sell-off. There's got to be more use cases, but if anyone's seen our track record with CTP, the use cases all might not be right on day one, but we build them in, and that's the same going to be with listeners. CTP, listeners, these are tokens, index as well. These are things that we have long-term visions for, long-term plans, and nothing we do is a flip. Nothing we do is a buy and pump and dump and anything like that. So, I mean, obviously we don't sell any. We buy them, actually. We sell them for the 2 Hive each, and we're buying them back at 1.5. So that's our little DeFi kind of thing, our little liquidity pool that we're creating ourselves. But at the end of the day, the market decides what the value of the token is, what it's going to get bought for, what it's going to get sold for. And yeah. So.
And keep in mind, John and Blaine have picked up and moved, and they've joined Cal in the Sooniverse. So
yes, absolutely.
Anything you think is lacking, have no fear. It's all part of the Sooniverse.
Yes, everything Sooniverse. TM Cal.
When John? Soon. When? Soon.
TM Cal. TM
See, John,
Cal.
Now you can say something different than when I wake Blaine up. When I wake Blaine up. When Blaine gets off his ass and does something. Now you can just soon. Yeah. And maybe Blaine won't be so pissy with you all the time. Actually, he probably will, but at least
he loves me.
Your fault in that instance.
He secretly loves me. He won't admit it, but he does.
Oh man, this is more info than we need to know.
Thank you, Cyber Crypto, for the question. Jay Fang is up. So I'm a bit confused about the Duat tokens we get off of the Ragnarok airdrop. I think I saw some confusing posts, But can the duat be used for anything right now? I think it isn't, and we have to wait for when we can redeem the NFTs. But I've heard someone say that you can stake them. To be honest with you, I haven't even looked at it. I tried to load Deluxe up the other day, and it didn't work. I couldn't find it, and then they told me to go to view.deluxe, and I was just like, I'll wait for them to iron this out before I check everything out. So I'm not sure. Some people said they got it, no problem. The only thing I know you can do so far is sell them. I'm not sure if you can stake them or whatnot. I'm not sure. Do you know anything?
No,
more?
and I have a feeling the staking, it's kind of like the staking of the larynx tokens. It's pointless unless you're running infrastructure. I can't swear to that, but I think the duet or whatever it's called, that it shows it on the site. I think that's for staking, but that's for infrastructure. But it's my understanding, and I will not profess to be an expert,
Right.
but it's my understanding that you can't do anything at this time, and that'll be rolled out in the next 4 weeks, 12 weeks, in the Sooniverse too.
The Sooniverse. This thing keeps popping up, man.
Well, Sooniverse is a very prestigious neighborhood to live in, and everybody's moving there, it seems.
I'm all for it.
All the successful people on Hive, they're selling they're using those riches that they got off Hive to live in the exclusive neighborhood in the Sooniverse zip code.
The real estate market is bumping there, I heard.
Leave the rest of us behind in the slums.
Jeez. Poor us. Anyways, sorry, Jay Fang, we didn't know more about it. I'm still trying to claim mine. That being said, I haven't really even looked into it too much. I was planning on doing it after this weekend. So that was because we still have 3 months or something to claim these things. So I'll take my time, make sure everything is working and ironed out. So there you go. It's exciting though. Love airdrops. The power of Hive. Just get in there. Beautiful things. Magical internet money appears. Brando28 says, Hi, Brando28. What is this searching for Larry I keep seeing everywhere? Well, disclaimer, we've got nothing to do with it. Even though technically we didn't start it, but a community member started this thing. Luke is alive. So inside of Click Track Profit Training, we had this little scavenger hunt game that people went to different websites and they found Larry the List Builder. Not Larry the List Builder, excuse me. It was Luke the List Builder. Sorry, the L's are messing me up. Luke the List Builder. And if you found this little guy, you just put it out there, and then you were rewarded for finding him every day, and you might have got a little reward here and there if you found him. So we discontinued it because that industry that started it is awful. It hasn't moved in 20 years. It's similar to the viral mailers of listeners, but it's even worse. Just absolutely no innovation. There's no creativity. It's just the industry is on like life support. You know, it's a vegetable basically. So we pulled the plug on it, and the people that ran it decided they wanted to keep going with it. So they rebranded it as Searching for Larry, or I don't even know, something like that. So it's a separate project, nothing to do with CTP right now. I do know that they include listeners into their daily tasks, but I don't know much more than that. I haven't really looked into it, but that's what it is. It's kind of like an online game, daily tasks to do every day, and listeners is part of it. There you go. You know anything about a task or no?
No, I'm still looking for Waldo.
He's in the Sooniverse.
Not surprising. Seems everybody's there.
Chris, I shall remain silent. I shall remain silent, Chris. I just work here. Thank you for the question, though, Brando. Appreciate it. Jimmy's up, our winner for today. Big shout out to Jimmy again for winning the contest. But he says, is the CTP team considering a tipping system for listeners? Hey, I just had to ask a nerdy question. Not really. We're pretty happy with CTP. Now this is this is perfect. It gives us some time to talk about the CTP tipping bot that we created. a Chim03 did a really good post the other day about this, and and this is nothing against the other tipping bots, because the pizza guys are all stars, freaking amazing dudes. That whole community is top notch, top of the food chain, in my opinion, on Hive. They have a ton of use cases for their token. They have DeFi projects, diesel pools, the whole nine, right? But other than that, the majority of these tipping bots, their use case is a tip. That's it. Not all, but the majority of them, it's a tip. It's like, hey, we've created a token. You can go and tip it out to people. What does it do? Well, you can tip people with it. What's the use case? You can tip people with it. Like this, that's it, right? So what we wanted to do with the CTP tipping system is that it's already tied into a community token. The use case for CTP in the past couple of months, we put it into listeners. We've created this tipping system. Obviously, we have CTP Talk. We've got projects that accept it as payment. So the tipping token, it uses a token that, first of all, we are not manufacturing it. We're buying them ourselves right off the market. And there's no new tokens being printed for this. So it's getting tokens off the market. We're taking all of our curation rewards and self-funding this thing. So it's completely being funded by the CTP team and what we do on chain, because we think that it's the tipping bots are great. They're fantastic, especially because people really value their Hive. They don't necessarily want to use the tipping feature on Peak D to give out Hive. Give out a CTP token, and it just adds more utility for it, and allows people to give out these tokens, and they can give out up to 10 of them a day. All they need is 100 staked CTP, and you're good to go. So nothing yet, no listeners tipping yet, but yeah, no plans either for doing listeners tips. Could be an interesting one though, but we'll see.
Was he asking that, or was he asking, can you use the tipping bot on listeners? Are there any plans to incorporate the tipping bot in listeners? It could go both ways, and I don't know what he was asking.
Yeah, that's like you said, a nerdy question. That's definitely a Blaine with no E question. Just because I don't want to speak for him. But I think I know what you mean, and what Jimmy might be referring is, a tipping system within listeners.
That's what I'm
not
saying.
Necessarily on Hive, but
that's what I took the question to mean. I could be mistaken. And I thought we agreed Blaine not only has an E, but now he has a Y in there.
Yes. You didn't? Raymond came by our show last night, and he said, "Hi, John. Hi, Eliana. Hi, Blaine." And he literally spelt it BLAYNE. And Blaine was like, "I'm about to mute you and kick you off," and it was definitely funny. So.
I even remembered to get on there last night. I couldn't find you assholes. Where the hell were you hiding? I even looked for your post on Leo Finance.
We were there.
8:00. I'm like, okay. I kept
hitting. Oh, we were there, man. We were there. I think I might have been like 3 or 4 minutes late.
I went to Zoom, or not to Zoom, to Vim, CTP Talk, nothing. John G. Olson, nothing. Not John G. Olson. Your other one was on there.
Yeah, CTP Talk is, yeah. Right,
Johnny
right,
Coin.
right. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
And it's like, I finally remember, and you guys don't even know where you are.
Dude, I don't know what I'm doing half the time, man. The fact that I'm like awake right now is a miracle. So, yeah, there you go. We're here for the party. Great question, though, Jimmy. We will. Did we freeze? No, I'm still here. Task.
No, I'm here. Am I frozen?
I see you. No. Big Bam. Hello, Harrington. Welcome. Thank you for the question, sir. Lisa's up. Is there somewhere I can go find more out about the Larynx tokens? I think I missed that. Well, you can claim the Larynx tokens on deluxe.io. But to learn about the whole project, speak.network, I think, is their account, isn't it?
Is it speak.network or SPK network?
SPK.network, excuse me. Yeah.
Is it .network? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check out their account. You can also poke around their Discord.
And also, they call me Dan Hill. He forwards most of the pertinent stuff there, or rehives it. So if you go back through his feed, you'll start to see a lot of stuff about that.
Yep. Yeah, that's the mining token for the Speak network. That's going to be launched here off chain, but kind of like a layer 2 thing. But it's bigger than that. It's really, you might want to look into it. Just, not financial advice, but future advice. How about that? You might want to take a look at it. That's the rumor, at least. Thank you for the question, Lisa. Hope it helps. Best Start is up. This is John. He said, what exactly are the witnesses and what do they do? This is a really good question. And I think John actually asked this last week, and I totally forgot to address it. So what exactly, how would you describe, other than block producers, and everyone says that, they're kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's great. What the hell does that mean? Do we want to go over a little bit about what witnesses are, why they matter, why they're important, why we love them?
They serve a variety of roles. They are block producers. They also have to accept the code and updates on the code. So when there's a hard fork, you need consensus, which I think is 16 witnesses out of 20 or 17 witnesses out of 20 running the code. They have other responsibilities. For example, we just discussed the 20% interest on HBD is determined by the witnesses. So if they want to raise or lower that, witnesses are in a delegated proof of stake system. They're the elected representatives, if you will, and anybody can run a witness node. Anybody can get involved. Anybody can do block validations as long as their witness node is technically sound and can handle it and the software is running properly. But without the votes, it goes in a rotation outside consensus. So you might not get a whole lot of money for it because, it goes 1 through 20, then goes to 21, then 1 through 20, then to 22, and 1 through 20, then to 23, and all the way down through whatever it is, 120. So, it's really governance there are elected representatives. Most of them have technical backgrounds because they're the ones, if there are issues that arise, they have to solve it. If there are technical issues, they're the ones who have to keep looking at game theory and keep monitoring things to make sure, where are potential security threats, even if it's not from a technical hacking standpoint. Where is the security threat, for example, by increasing the amount of HBD for the haircut from 10% to 30%. They have to keep an eye on that. If somebody did try to monkey with the system, they would have the ability, because when you take your Hive and power it up, before you get governance, it's 30 days. So if somebody came in and was trying to power up a huge amount of Hive, if they could even get it, then the witnesses could step in and basically protect the chain and find out what the intentions of this person are. So, there's a lot of different roles that they fill. Most of it is in the background. Most of it the average user isn't going to see nor probably care about. I can tell you it's a diverse group of people that really, there's some of them that really can't stand each other. And that's probably a good thing, because the idea of, you just get everybody to agree. If you've seen those top witnesses together, you're not going to get them to agree on much of anything. In fact, some of them will just disagree based upon what somebody else agrees to. So, they're our representatives. They're the ones who are responsible for not only keeping the chain going from a technical standpoint, but also handling some of the governance issues like the HBD. And, we have to run through the ideas if we want to add something to somehow try to get more value in high power, let's say. Well, that's going to go through the witnesses and they'll have to talk about it. And then if it's something that everybody kind of agrees to, then it'll be coded in.
Right. Yep. And actually, Jay came up with a follow-up question right after Best Start 2. I think he was reading his. He said he wanted to know more about the witnesses, but he wanted to know how you host nodes and what are the benefits. So we're witnesses on Hive, the CTP team, and we are, I think we're 75 or something.
You guys are moving up the scale.
Slowly. I mean, a couple of whale votes wouldn't hurt, but we'll move up slowly too, because a lot of those votes that are there for dead witnesses up top will start to expire.
Yeah, next in June that the 1 year comes up.
Yep. So we don't. I think we don't really make a lot. Let's be brutally honest.
Do you even break even?
Not
Probably
really.
not.
Not really.
I think you got to be in maybe even the
50.
30s,
Like
but
50,
at least
yeah.
What is it?
It's like the 50s, like high 50s, like low 50s, excuse me. So between 50 to 20, you're doing okay, and then 20 up, it's basically a full-time income. So you know, the reason we do it is a couple of reasons. One, we believe in decentralization. Second thing, we obviously are big fanboys of Hive. We love this blockchain. The moment we saw it, we believed in it. We believe in the community. So we made the decision, Blaine and I made the decision that we'll take the loss. We have other ways that obviously we're top 10 witnesses on Hive Engine. So that helps. That helps us pay for stuff too.
Do you make money on that?
Oh yeah. The Hive Engine witnesses is pretty good, and the fact that Blaine is the top 3 holder of Worker Bee, and I'm like in the top 10 or something like that of holder of Worker Bee too, really helps.
What's Worker Bee?
That's the mining token for the Bee token. It's the governance token, so it's basically like Hive Power. So if you have Worker Bee, it helps your vote on Hive Engine. And it's a mining token that mines Bee, so it's a great income generator too as well. So definitely a big shout out to Worker Bee. But yeah, so there's and then everything we do on chain also pays for stuff. So we fund it, but it's not necessarily from the rewards of being a block producer. It's from all of the projects we got on Hive, which is fine. We're totally fine with it. We're long-term thinkers. We're long-term play. We're not looking to get rich off of Hive in a year or less. We're looking, 5 years down the road. What does this mean if we're a top 50 witness? That's what we're looking at. Big picture stuff. So I would look into it just to get a real good feel of it. It's not astronomically cost to be a witness. To get the server you need is not out of the ballpark. It's actually pretty affordable, especially since all the changes they've done over the past couple of years. But you're not gonna, if you believe in decentralization, you believe in getting, helping out the blockchain a little bit more, by all means, but don't, because let's be brutally honest, and Task, I think you'll agree with this. The top 30-ish are pretty much locked in. Like, you've got to either screw up massively to get off that list, or just become like, the fact that Leo Finance and 3Speak are not top 20 witnesses blows my mind. And look, everything they've done for Hive, and they're still not. So it's it's Fort Knox to get into that top 30 list. But if you chip away at it, you do some great development, you do some good stuff, you can definitely move up the lists. I mean, we've been moving up. When we started, I think we were at 100. Now we're up to 75. So chipping away slowly.
Well, and the other thing I'd like to add is reputation. And I'm not talking about the number next to your name. I'm talking about your reputation on chain and what you're known for. And John and I are known for doing CryptoManiacs. John's known for being part of CTP. If you run a witness node, you're part of 120 people, 120 groups, if you will. 100. There's more than some groups like you and Blaine run a witness node, but you're part of like 120. It's a very small family, and it means something if you are able to go out and say, I'm a Hive witness, I run a node. And if you stick with it, and if you're a developer type and you're a techie type and you're a coder type, it opens up doors that you get into. And over time, I'm sure Blaine probably goes on there. John, I'm sure you don't, but there's witness chat rooms and stuff like that where they can probably go in. I don't know if it's on Discord or Slack or whatever, but they talk about different issues, and you can go there for help if hey, I can't get this to work or that to work. So I think from a reputation standpoint, even though you may be taking a little bit on the lip financially,
Yeah.
There's other non-financial benefits to doing that because, there are only about 120 witnesses. And if you stick with it over time, as the CTP witness noticed, I mean, I said that kind of tongue in cheek, but I'm totally serious because the last time, I mean, you guys have my vote, but the last time I looked, you were like in the 90s. So now you're in the 70s. Yeah. I mean, you moved up the scale.
Yep.
And
another year
from now, maybe you'll be in the 60s or knocking in the 50s. Who knows?
We have the goal to be in the top 50. That's our target. That's what we said we'd be happy with. But it's funny because when we first started, like, I didn't know if I was supposed to go campaigning like every day, put it in front of people. So the most I do is I put it a little signature on the bottom of all my posts, like come vote for us. If there's anything we do, we do, official, live stream multiple times a week. If there's big updates, we make sure we put it out there. But we're not in people's face. We just, we're here.
I will be. Listen, dumbasses, if you haven't voted CTP as witness, go peek the drop-down menu, witnesses, go there and look in the number 70s range. CTP, is it called CTP?
Click Track Profit is the account, yeah.
Click Track Profit's not called John's Witness Service?
No, okay. Click Track Profit. Yeah, we're 73.
Click Track Profit,
73.
And there's a box on the right. Check it. And if you haven't done it, we will be doing an inventory, and anybody who hasn't done it will be receiving downvotes for the next.
We're tied basically with BroFund. We go back and forth. So
do you?
Yeah, Raymond and I kind of like we're going back and forth here. He goes ahead of us, we go ahead of him. He goes ahead of us, we go. So it's exciting. There you go. Good stuff. So what do you got planned for the weekend, man? You excited? Yeah, my mother is coming in this weekend. I'm actually picking her up from the airport tonight, so I haven't seen her in a year. So, that's my adventure. So, yeah.
That's how does she get along with your wife?
Pretty good.
Oh,
pretty good.
Okay. Well, so won't be many fireworks, and she gets to see the grandkids, and I'm sure they'll be happy about that.
Yeah. Taking it easy this weekend. But other than that, dude, did you?
I got the most important question: is the NFL draft this weekend?
No, it's no, sir. No. That's next Thursday night. Yeah. So Wednesday night is draft day watching. So that's the movie. Got to watch it on the night before every year. I've been doing it since the movie came out in like 2013. Do that, and then Thursday night's first round, second round is Friday. I don't watch Saturdays. It's like, it's the late rounds, and I don't know. I don't even know any of these first round guys. Like, I don't watch college ball at all.
Yeah,
I hate the NCAA. I think it's the biggest scam in history. But it's Christmas for me this coming week. So it's my Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of every year.
See, Oliver Stone did Wall Street. Then, like, after the great financial crisis, he did Wall Street too. Wouldn't it be cool if they did like draft day 2, like, because they ended the original movie with the kickoff at the first game, but then it's the Browns and they'd like have to do, we went 1-15. We ended on a high note. We got all these we had an amazing draft, but we still went 1-15. And now we have the number 1 pick.
Yeah, the actor that played Vontae Mack passed away though.
Yes.
So
yes,
Chadwick Boseman passed away. So I don't think he obviously not be there, but
and the owner, the guy who played the owner, what's his name? Friend, I forget.
Frank something. Yeah.
He's like 84 or 85, so they better get filming quick because he's 84 or 85.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't young when they made the movie, and that was like 10 years ago or 9 years ago. So.
Yeah.
You did not know there was a Wall Street too?
Yeah, it came out a couple of years ago. Yeah.
It came out 10 years ago.
Was it 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Geez.
It's called, Chris, Wall Street 2, Money Never Sleeps. And it's with obviously Michael Douglas and what's
Gecko.
Shia
LaBeouf.
Yeah.
LaBeouf. I don't know. Yeah.
So it's a good one. It covers the basically the great financial crisis. So
yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for next week though, because draft is always
So
exciting.
why do you watch a draft if you don't know any of the players?
Because it's my team and they're going to do something. They're going to
Yeah,
trade,
but
and
yes, well,
but I'm going to be watching the
team,
guy they draft. I'm going to
every
be
team
watching.
does something in the draft. They draft players. So yes, every team
But
in the first round
I'm
draft.
going to be watching this guy, and I have my needs as a football fan, what I think the team needs. So I'm hoping they
Yeah, but
address
you got to
that.
watch all 7 rounds to make sure see if they fill their needs.
Dude, I'll get the updates on my phone. Like round 6 picks, 220. It's all good. I trust the scouts. Like I don't need to see.
But
film
you don't trust them in the first round.
No, it's eye test. It's all eye test. I don't trust anybody but my general manager. So yeah.
Now you do realize how many of the first round, let alone the first 3 rounds, end up as busts
All the time.
all the time,
All the time.
especially quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
Quarterback flop rate is like 75% in the first round.
Oh yeah. Look at the 2018 draft. That was supposed to be the quarterback draft. You only have 2 guys that are like Pro Bowlers.
Who was in that one?
Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, and Lamar Jackson. That was your. So you have Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are like the only 2, like
Well,
Baker's
is Mayfield that bad?
Baker's okay, but he like if you would redraft it, you would do like Allen.
Well, of course, if you were to redraft, you take Jackson or Allen number
or
1.
Allen, yeah, I mean, like that's 1 or 2, right?
Hindsight's easy, 2020. But is he? I mean, he's not Jamarcus Russell, is he?
Yeah, no, he's not Jamarcus. He's not Jamarcus Russell. Man, no Jamarcus Russell hate, man. Come on, that poor guy. No, it's not. No, Baker's.
I have nothing against Jamarcus Russell. It's just he was the number 1 pick. I mean, he was Johnny Football before Johnny Football, but at least Johnny Football wasn't the number 1 pick. He was like 27th or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. It's Baker's okay. Baker's in a really lousy situation.
And well, now he may even be a backup if they don't trade him,
right.
because they sign or trade for somebody or.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he's now the quarterback of the Browns. Wow, man! I always thought it was always the Buffalo Bills were the laughing stock of the league.
No, they weren't.
They were, dude. We were the bickering Bills, man. Come on.
No. First off, I'm from New York. I'm a Giant fan. So there was always the Jets. They were laughing stock for forever and have been.
They still are. Let's be honest.
And Cleveland is hard to top as a laughing stock.
Yeah.
When you are a movie, when your team is in a movie,
yep,
you are either the LA Lakers or you're a laughing stock.
Oh, you could be the New York Knicks too. Whoopi Goldberg did a New York Knicks movie, right? When she was the coach or something for the Knicks. Remember that?
Well,
back in the 90s?
I mean, it's Whoopi Goldberg. I mean,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, you got to be serious.
Was John Starks was starring in it and stuff? Like,
yeah, you got to deal with serious basketball movies like Space Jam or something like that.
Exactly. Serious basketball movies like Space Jam.
Yeah. But, so it's like remember Major League, the movie?
Yep. Oh, yeah,
what they do? The Cleveland Indians. Why? Because Cleveland hadn't won a World Series. Well, they still haven't, but they haven't won a World. I don't think they have, but they hadn't won a World Series in like 45 years. But not only that, they were just bad. It was like not even close.
Yeah.
So you got in football, I would say you got the Browns, the Jets. For most of the time, the Chargers are pretty bad.
Yeah. We always said that the Chargers were like the Bills of the West. Like
and the Buccaneers, I mean, I'm down south here. The Buccaneers, I mean, they've done better in the last like 20 years. They had like 3 good seasons. 2 of them they won Super Bowls. But they're usually pretty crappy.
Yeah.
The Falcons, what have they ever done?
Yeah. 28-3. That's what they've done. Anyways.
So you don't get your football fix this weekend.
Oh, I'm getting it. Next weekend is the fix, man. It's my and we're gonna be streaming live. We'll be on Vim. We'll be doing live.
That's okay. Streams. I won't be able to fucking find you.
Oh, that's okay. Well, it's not my account that does the live streaming. It's the sports nerd, Scott, my buddy who does it. So
that's that one. I'm talking last night.
I know. CTP Talk is the account that we go live on Vim.
And I did that, and it like was just sitting there like.
Well, you got to get into the traditional social media, man. You got to get into
I
the
looked for you to put up a link or say something on Twitter. Nothing. Real Finance and look for a link there. Nothing. I'm like, did John like bail?
No, the only time we go live on Twitter is for the.
I'm not even looking live. Just give me a freaking link on Twitter where I can go to. Just don't send me to Facebook because I don't have Facebook. Well, I probably could watch it.
You're not
give
missing
me the YouTube link. I could go watch on YouTube. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll send you the link, man. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, then you'll remind me because if I'm on Discord and you send me the link and say, here's the link, I'll say, oh shit, it's time to watch.
Yeah, please come and watch our show. Anyways.
Now, can we take bets like how quickly it takes me to get banned by Blaine? Because
definitely stir the pot. I highly recommend it.
Maybe we should like get everybody to like comment and everybody spell his name a different way. But make sure there's abundance of E's in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Double B's, double Y's, and a whole bunch of E's at the end. Blaney. No. BLEYNE. Yeah.
Why?
Blaney. Not Delaney. Blaney. Guys, get out of here. Go have a good weekend, you crazy awesome people. Thank you for listening. That is Task. I am John Go.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
Congratulations
you for your support.
to Jimmy.
We always appreciate all you're doing for the show, and you're a regular, and glad you won it.
Yep, I'll send you that too, Jimmy. Give me like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I just gotta get everything edited. So thank you guys for coming and have a great weekend. Toodles.